thank you. ¿Cómo estamos todos? ¿Todo bien? All right.
Oscar, you picked the perfect match to host at the forum. Do you think this is the fight style-wise that reminisces to the old fight at the forum?
I truly feel this fight will live up to the expectations. First of all, I strongly feel that the forum has brought out a lot of great fights and a lot of great fighters. I mean, you name it, from Muhammad Ali to myself. We've stepped inside that ring, and there's something different about the forum that is special, and to showcase Alexis Rocha against an undefeated fighter who on record is and on paper is a tough contender. It should be one for the ages. It should be one for LA. One of those fights that a lot of people will remember.
When you go to the forum, you make your pro debut, of course. There, what are the emotions that just go through your head every time you go into that arena?
Yeah, you know what? I've been to concerts, and it's yeah, it brings back a lot of beautiful memories. You know, I can. The one thing I do remember is the most is Ricardo Montalban when I dropped Lamar Williams, and he stood up and put his hands up. Ricardo Montalban, the actor. That's the one image I get in my head all the time when I think about my pro debut. It's pretty special. Yeah, the forum brings out all the stars, which is pretty cool.
This is also the third fight in a row Alexis is headlining now. You see,
Yeah.
I think he kind of had the bad luck with Virgil Ortiz. He kind of had his moment last year when he headlined that card last minute. Do you feel like you have the next star in Golden Boy and Alexis Rocha?
Yeah, look, we're just doing what we do best, and that's, promote our fighters and get them to that position, to have an opportunity and fight for a world title. Rocha is right there. He's knocking on the door, and we have a WBO convention coming up where Crawford will be making his decision whether he's moving up to 154 or staying at 47. Therefore, the belt will either become vacant or he will stay and fight at 47. And the decision's up to Paco whether Rocha is next in line to fight for that world title with Crawford, depending on what he decides.
Do you like what the WBO is doing with this new super division, the super champion designation? They did with Teofimo, and
Yeah.
it seems like a few other top-ranked fighters are following suit right now. I know you've been very vocal about the world title picture, and it continues to kind of get muddied again.
Sure.
How do you feel about perhaps that even opening doors for your fighters, though?
All right, here we go. We're gonna get controversial now. All right, here we go. So, I just do not agree with the world titles. I do not agree, with the exception of the Ring Magazine belt, which is technically not an official, belt to in many people's eyes. I mean, it's the most prestigious, goes back 100 years, and there's no politics whatsoever. You're either the champion and you win it in the ring against the number one, number two guy, and that's it. And the only way you can lose it, and we have the editor-in-chief here, is in the ring. That's it. So, I have to play ball with the organizations because they give title chances, they position you top 10. But when you start playing with super champion, when you start playing with super duper champion, it's like it becomes confusing to the audience, to the fan who supports the sport. Like nobody knows who the champion is. And that there is not good for the sport. So when you have a Teofimo Lopez who is a great champion, don't get me wrong, but now is exempt from fighting his number one mandatory, the next guy in line that can possibly beat him. He's exempt from it. Like, so are you a champion or are you not a champion? You have to defend your titles. It's been changing over the years, and I just do not agree with it. And I have every right to say that. I do not agree with it because I was in the ring. I stepped inside the ring myself. And I don't agree with that. As a promoter, I don't have to agree with it, but guess what? Sometimes you have to, walk in the park with these guys. Sometimes you have to play ball with these guys. But as a fighter, I just do not agree with it.
Oscar, háblanos en español para esta gran función de octubre 21, encabezada por Alexis Rocha y Giovanni Santillán. ¿Qué es lo que puede esperar la afición del boxeo?
Fíjate que es una gran pelea. La verdad que estoy sorprendido un poco de que ambos tomaron la pelea, porque es una pelea difícil para ambos. Giovanni, yo he seguido su carrera por ya bastante tiempo. Obviamente su estilo es un estilo agresivo, un estilo que viene a pelear, ¿no? Y se conocen muy bien, Giovanni y Alexis Rocha. Así que esta pelea desde el Forum en Los Ángeles, el ambiente, creo que les va a sacar a ambos peleadores ese coraje, ¿no? Para darles una buena pelea.
Esta es la tercera ocasión que Alexis encabeza una cartelera tuya. ¿Lo ves tú como el próximo gran estrella de Golden Boy?
Pues fíjate que nosotros estamos solamente posicionando a Alexis Rocha para un título mundial. Alexis Rocha, él tiene la oportunidad, sí, de coronarse campeón mundial muy pronto. Él es número 1 del mundo actual. Tenemos una situación con Terence Crawford. No sabemos si va a subir de peso a las 154 libras o 147. Eso esperemos en la próxima convención de la OMB. Y veremos a ver si Crawford se queda o no. Pero esta pelea sí va a ser una pelea muy interesante, porque el ganador obviamente va a pelear por un campeonato mundial.
El hecho de que la pelea sea en un lugar icónico como el Forum, ¿para ti qué significa como boxeador? ¿Algún recuerdo en especial? ¿Algo que te llegue a la mente?
Sí, la verdad que yo peleé mi primera pelea en el Forum como profesional. Y le estaba comentando que el único momento que yo me recuerdo es de que Ricardo Montalbán, el gran actor, cuando tumbé a Lamar Williams, subió las manos, se paró y gritó campeón. Eso me recuerdo, y es unos momentos muy bonitos. Ricardo era un fan mío y le gustaba el boxeo mucho.
¿Qué tan sorprendido estás con el progreso que ha tenido Alexis Rocha?
Fíjate que él tomó el paso hace como 2 peleas. Creo que fue una pelea en el YouTube Theater, en donde demostró la quijada, demostró pegue, aguante, demostró todo en esa pelea. Era una pelea fuerte, difícil. Me recordaba el contrincante, me recordaba a Ike Cortez, fuerte, con un jab, quijada, mucho corazón. Y esa pelea me demostró que Alexis Rocha está solamente aprendiendo, creciendo, y Y ahora es el momento de Rocha. Ahora es el momento de coronarse campeón mundial, pero el contrincante no va a ser fácil. No va a ser fácil para Rocha. Es una pelea difícil, fuerte, pero eso es lo que queríamos. Porque el forum y la gente, el público se merece ese tipo de pelea.
Oscar, you've been very successful.
What's up, brother?
I'm good to see you. How you
Okay,
doing
my
today?
man, my man.
Beautiful day. It's not cheap making fights in California.
No.
There's a lot of taxes, but you
Yeah.
still do it. You could go somewhere else and do it for way cheaper. So why bring all the fights in?
Look, I've had a mission for a while now, and that's to bring back boxing to LA. Yeah, it's not easy, like you mentioned. I'm glad you brought it up. We are talking to the California Commission. We are talking to politicians to hopefully change that in order to bring more fights here, because every big fight is obviously in Las Vegas. Every fight now is taking place overseas in New York, Texas, now Arizona. So, you know, the fact that we're LA based, the fact that I was born and raised here, I want to be able to showcase a lot of these young fighters like Rocha, you know, and fights like William Cepeda and Hesta the other night, which was an amazing fight. You know, I want to keep that tradition here. You know, I want to keep that tradition and continue bringing the best, you know, fighters and fights, you know, to LA, to California.
You almost had a flawless career as a fighter. Going back, if you had to start being a promoter from day one, what would you do different?
As a promoter, do different. Okay. As a promoter, do different. You know, I think I truly feel that we've been on the right track ever since the beginning. You know, it's like, yeah, people always ask me, what would you change from your career? I wouldn't change anything. I mean, it's you know, my career was what it was, and I'm happy with it. Win or lose, everything happens for a reason, right? So as a promoter, I think everything we've been doing has been correct. Everything we've been doing, you know, is building fighters and doing the best job possible. So, you know, for these kids, giving them the opportunity, you know. So I don't think I would change anything. I mean, there's a lot of things I can change in boxing that I would love to, but it's not my job to do so. I mean, you know, there's just the judging, for instance. It's crazy. The judging is crazy. I don't know how. I do understand that if it's a close round, you're gonna get your controversy, whatever. Because look, judges are human, you know, and they're gonna make mistakes, or they're gonna favor a style. They're gonna favor the aggression. They're gonna favor. I think there should be some kind of like retraining for all judges, and maybe get these younger kids to come in and judge fights. You know, maybe you're 20, 25 years old, 30 years old, instead of, you know, 60, 70, 80, you know. It makes a big difference.
Oscar, do you see a stoppage in this fight?
I see, yeah, I do. I see one of those